You are gonna have to get rid of something to make room for something new, and that goes for friendships and whatever else. Like, for to make room for the people that are supposed to be in your life, you got to get rid of those people that aren't supposed to be there. Hey y'all, it's Carlin. Welcome to my channel. Before we get into today's video, make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you've been here before, or even if you haven't, especially if you like sit down chats and deep combos and hair content. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. So today I'm doing the silk press again. It's the last silk press that I'm doing until next winter, and then after that I'll start doing like braid outs, like blown out braid outs and twist outs and bantu knots and wand curls and all that kind of stuff. And then I'll get back into doing like my wash and goes and stuff like that, which I'm really excited about because it's been a long time since I put out a wash and go video. And the curls, they're still there. Every time I wash my hair, the curls are still in my hair, so I'm happy about that. And also, I'm still getting over a little bit of sickness. I'm still like a little bit congested. I don't know what's going on. Like, everything else feels fine, but it's just like I'm so like congested, and it's just like I just can't get rid of it no matter what I do. And yeah, I'm ready to, feel 100% like myself again. So I use all the same stuff that I did not all the same stuff. I use a lot of the Dew products for my wash and go, and then I use It's a 10 for my leave-in, and then I use the Kenra blow dry spray to blow dry my hair. So what we're going to talk about today is 5 red flags that I ignored in friendships and why you shouldn't. I feel like there has been some times that, and pretty much in most of my friendships, that there's been some red flags and I just chose to ignore them, whether I was desperate for friends or whether I just thought I was special in some of these cases. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I mention my first thing. But I just really wish that I hadn't ignored them, because if you watched some of my previous videos where I talked about how I felt like I've never had like a true friend, like that's one of the reasons why I wish that I wouldn't have ignored them, because like I said later on, that they proved that they weren't a real friend. Like I said, I wasn't special. Like, none of these things like weren't exempt from me. And I wrote down all 5 of these red flags so I wouldn't forget, because I feel like, some other people might need to hear these too. And I felt like they were like really good, and I was just like, okay, I don't want to forget when it's time for me to film this video. So if you see me like looking down at my phone like I'm about to do right now to see what number 1 is, then that's what I'm doing. So the first red flag that I ignored in a friendship was talking behind people's back. Like, when you have a friend like that talks behind people's back. And I've had actually a couple of friends that have talked behind other people's backs. And specifically, I want to talk about friends who talk behind other friends' back. Like, I had this one friend who called her friend bitch. I won't say the word here, but y'all know what that spells. And it's just like, for you to consider your friend, and it's just like, how some people will be like, they'll say that word, but they'll say it in a playful way. No, she wasn't saying it in a playful way. She was saying it like, the mean way, the opposite way. So it's just like, for you to call your friend that and you consider that person a friend, is just like, why would I want a friend who talks about friends like that? And what I was talking about earlier, like how I thought I ignored them because I thought, oh, they'll never do that to me. Well, I'm really congested, but I'm so sorry, y'all. But I felt like, you know, they'll never talk about like that to me. It's just like, cause I consider myself like a nice person and stuff like that. I'll go out of my way for people and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll treat other people better than I treat myself. Not a good trait, I know, but sometimes I will do that. So I'm thinking like, you know, if I consider myself a good friend, they'll never talk about me like that. But even like besides calling a friend that word, or like or just saying just like bad stuff about them, besides that, I've just had friends who have talked badly about other friends behind their back, just like saying some like really mean stuff. And I ignored it because, like I said, I thought, like, I consider myself a good friend and stuff like that. So I'm just like, you know, they'll never say that about me. But 9 times out of 10, if they'll talk about this friend or that friend behind their back, they probably talking about you to somebody else behind your back. No matter what it is, like, they'll find something. And one of these people, like, they had been friends with this person way longer than they had been friends with me. So I don't know why I thought, you know, I was so special, you know, to think that they wouldn't say anything to me. Because like I said, they will find something. Like, I don't know what it is about those kind of people who just feel like they always got to talk about somebody's back. And the girl in particular who called the other friend a B, I don't even think she deserved to be called that, because she kind of talked about, she was talking about this and this and this and that, and then she said B, and then I was just like, you know, I actually called her out on it, and I was just like, because I don't think she deserved that. And it's just like, I just hate when somebody is talking behind somebody else's back, and it just makes me, sometimes those same people, you know, when you leave the room or something like that, you know what kind of person they are deep down. So it's just like, you know, sometimes I have thought, you know, after I left the room or I leave and somebody else is still there, you know, you kind of wonder sometimes, are they talking about you? I always just feel like nowadays, just trust your gut. Like, if you feel like something's wrong or just not right, then you probably having that feeling for a reason. Because I had this one friend that I just never felt, I know I'm getting off subject, but I just never felt comfortable around her. And I just always thought maybe, you know, enough time hadn't been invested in the friendship or whatever, but I just never felt comfortable. And like, we don't talk anymore. We're not friends anymore. And I just kind of feel like that was just I don't know what it is. It's just something telling you like something's not right. Like, this isn't your person. Okay, so number 2 is emotional manipulation, or like guilt tripping somebody into doing like what they want you to do. Like, I had this one friend, whenever I couldn't come to her house or whenever I couldn't take her somewhere, you know, I would feel like the energy shift. I don't know what it was. Even if we were like texting, maybe because like I had known her for a minute and I just kind of like knew the vibe, how it was all good and stuff when we were texting, and just like whenever I couldn't do what she wanted me to do, I would feel like her energy shift, or it'll be like or I'll just get somebody else to do it. And I'm just like, I'm not just saying I can't do something just because I don't want to do it, or just because I don't, even though I could do that, but it's just like, I'm busy doing something else, or I really can't do it. Because like I said, I'm one of those people who will go out of their way to help a friend or help a person. So it's just like, if I say I can't do something, like, I really can't do it for a good reason. So yeah, so it would be like, yeah, I'll just get somebody else to help me, or I'll just or don't worry about it, or that'll be too late by then, or just something like that. And it's just like, you know, and then yeah, I started to feel guilty, and I started to feel like really bad. Like, dang, like I really wish I could go, like, or I really wish I could do it for her, but you know, I just can't. And it always would make me feel like super bad. Or I'll just start to think like of ways that, okay, well, can I move this around? And or because I'd even be like, okay, well, I can't do it today, but yeah, tomorrow. And they'll just be like those examples I just gave. Well, it'll be too late by then, or I'll just get somebody else to do it. They will just like always like snooty, not like, oh, it's okay, you know, I'll just ask somebody else. No, it was like snooty, like I said, guilt, making me feel guilty because I can't do something that you wanted me to do. It's just like, we're supposed to be friends. Like, I'm not supposed to be like waiting on you hand and foot or doing everything that you want me to do when you want me to do it, because it's just like, I have my own life. I have things that I need to do for myself. It's just like, I can't be available for you every time you need me to be available, but I'll try my best to do it. Like I said, I'll go out of my way for something for another person. So it's like, I'll try my best to be there for you. But if I just can't, I just can. And it's just not because that I don't like you or I'm mad at you or whatever. It's just because I really can't do it that day. And it's just like all these things, like, if somebody makes you feel like that, then they're not a real friend. Like, they're just not. Or if y'all can talk to each other about it and you get through it, then that's the one thing. Because some of these things, like, some people will be like, you know what, I didn't notice that I was like that. You know what, you're right, I'm sorry. Now, if you talk to them about it and they be like, okay, I understand what you're saying, and they apologize and they start to get better on it, that's one thing. But if they just start doing the same thing again, then it's probably just time to let them go. Because if that's a red flag to you, then it's just like, it's not a fulfilling friendship. Like, how could it be? Okay, so number 3 is toxic comparisons. Like, you know how somebody, like I told y'all before in one of my other videos, one friend was just like to another friend, oh, you look better than us. It's just like, why are we talking about who looks better than the other as friends? Like, why does that even matter, who looks the best? And even if you do think that, that's fine, but it's just like, keep it to yourself. Like, you don't have to try to make somebody else feel bad and make the other person feel good. Like, what kind of friend is that? Why would you even want a friend who every time, or you can dress, or so-and-so can dress better than you, or so-and-so looks better than you, or this person can cook better than you? It's just like, why do you feel like you have to compare us? Like, there is no need for that. Like, because that's just not nice. Like I said, why that wouldn't make a person feel good. Like, you wouldn't like a person to say to you, like, so-and-so looks better than you, or so can do this better than you. I feel like friendship, like, we should be all uplifting each other, not just choosing one that you want to uplift for the day. No, it should always be like, we're always uplifting each other. We're never putting each other down. Like, none of that. Like, sometimes it even makes you not even want friends, especially when you have so many bad experiences with friends. Like, I know people have, like, there's times when like nobody's perfect. Yeah, I know that. But it's just like, I feel like there are just some things that you should know better. Like, you should know better than to be doing that or to be treating a friend like that. Like, there is no perfect person, but like I said, if y'all can talk to each other about it and work through it, then that's a real friend. If you have a friend that you talk to about something and they just like they want to end the friendship, or they just don't want to work through it, then that one's your friend anyway. Y'all shouldn't have been friends. Like, you will find somebody better. Like, that's probably just a sign that somebody else better is coming for you, because you got to make room for those new people that are coming into your life. To make room for something else, like, think about it like clothes in your closet. Say your closet is full and you want to get some new clothes, but it's just like, before you get those new clothes, or before you can fit them into your closet, of course you're gonna have to take out some of those old clothes that you don't need anymore. Like, you are gonna have to get rid of something to make room for something new. And that goes for friendships and whatever else. Like, to make room for the people that are supposed to be in your life, you got to get rid of those people that aren't supposed to be there. And I know that's the case for me. And you also got to believe that too. You got to believe that whatever you want in your life, I know this is a tad bit off topic, but whatever you want in your life, you just got to believe that it's coming, and you got to work towards it too. So yeah, like, toxic comparisons, just not good, not nice. That's not your friend. That's not a friendship that you need in your life. Okay, so the next red flag is when the friendship felt one-sided. Like, you ever had a friend, like, where you're doing this and that for them, and taking them here, taking them there, always coming to their house, buying them this, buying them that, or whatever it may be, and it's just like they never do anything for you. Like, they never return the favor. Like, it's always you giving, and them taking, and them never giving you anything back in return. Like, yeah, I had a friendship like that. Like, I was always helping her do something, or like I said, taking her here, taking her there, buying this, buying that, and it's just like, it just became just like me always giving and just her taking. And it's just like, I'm not keeping tally or anything like that, or I don't feel like you should just give if you don't want to. What I'm trying to say is, you would hope that if you're doing all this for this person, you would hope that they want to return the favor. So it's just like, for you to not want to, or you just don't even think to, again, it's just like, why would I want a friend like that? Like I said, I don't want you to just feel like, I don't want you to just do it just because. I want you to naturally want to do it. And since you just don't naturally want to do it, it'll still feel kind of one-sided if you like say, hey, I'm doing all this kind of stuff for you. Why won't you do anything for me? Like, why do I feel like you're always taking and never giving? They would just be like, okay, I'll start giving. It's just like, well, you don't really seem like you want to. Like, I want you to naturally want to do it. Like, friendship should feel balanced. You shouldn't have to feel like you're the one always putting in effort. You're the only one putting in effort every time, and they never try to, out the kindness of their heart, return the favor. So yeah. Okay, so number 5 is lack of accountability. Like, if a friend hurts your feelings and they don't want to say sorry or something like that. So I did have this one friend, like, when she did hurt my feelings, like, I told her about it, and she would, like, get really offensive. Anytime, like, I would tell her she hurt my feelings, or anytime I said something that she didn't like, she would get really defensive. And then it came like well, I'm sorry, like, as if you didn't want to say sorry. It's just like, well, if you don't want to say sorry, like, it's not genuine. So just don't say it at all. If you refuse to take accountability for how you made me feel, and you, like I said, you don't want to say sorry, then just keep it and just say that. Because if it's not genuine, then it doesn't really mean anything to me. Like, you just saying a word, and it's just like, I don't want the word. I want you to really feel sorry. And if you don't, like I said, just don't say it, or try to plead your case or something. And then two, I've also had a friend where it was just like, well, you did this and you did that, and it's just like it becomes a blame game. And it's just like, I'm not trying to tell you you hurt my feelings to make you feel bad or try to point the finger at you. I'm telling you because it hurt my feelings. I don't want this to be like a recurring thing. I want you to acknowledge what you did, acknowledge how you made me feel, and I want us to work through it. But I'm not trying to make you feel bad to tell you that you hurt my feelings. Like in a real friendship, you should be able to own up to what you did or what you said or whatever and just say sorry. Because if you really care, then yeah, you just apologize and say you sorry. It's just like, what's the big deal? It's just like, because I had this one friend too, like if I ever unintentionally, because like I'm about to say, like I don't think sometimes when a friend hurts your feelings, it's not intentional. So you do want to mention it to them, like, hey, I know you didn't mean to hurt my feelings, but blah 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 blah. But if they get defensive about it, it's just like, like I say, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. But I did have this one friend who I unintentionally hurt her feelings. So I'm just like, hey, I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention. I really wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. Like I'm sorry. Like it was a genuine apology, because sometimes people just might take what you say the wrong way, or just things get lost in translation or misinterpreted or something, especially through text. Like you can't read tone of voice. So a lot of times when it was, hey, you hurt my feelings, it was through text, and it's like, okay, I can see how you misinterpreted what I said, but that wasn't my intention to hurt your feelings. I'm sorry that I came off this way. This is what I meant. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. A genuine apology. Because like I said, I never want to just go out there just hurting people's feelings just because, especially if I consider them a friend. But it's just like, if you do have a friend where they just don't want to be held accountable for their actions, it's just like, again, like what kind of friend is that? Why would you want a friend like that? Like all of these things have happened, and even more things in friendships that I had, and I just chose to ignore them because I don't know if I said this before, but I just chose to ignore them because I just thought that they were friends, or some of those times I was just desperate for a friend. But those things that, even though I do want a true genuine friend now, I'm not willing to just bypass the red flags. Like if I see the red flag, I'm bringing it up. Or if it's just like 20 red flags at once on that one person, then I'll probably just be like, hey, this isn't the friendship for me. Like, oh, I want to mention too, if y'all seen these two nails, like I've just been too lazy to glue the rest back on. But anyway, yeah, it's just like, I'm not gonna choose to be or I'm not just gonna let it be being mistreated in a friendship, or just staying in a friendship that's not totally fulfilling to me. Like I want a fulfilling friendship. I want a reciprocal friendship, and just I want a friendship that just feels good, and I don't want anything that just feels bad. Like I said, I know nobody's perfect, and you're gonna do some things, say some things, maybe sometimes that you don't mean to. But if you can just say, hey, take accountability for your actions, and we can just talk through it, get through it, especially if you really genuinely care about the friendship and you cherish the friendship. I feel like if you don't cherish the friendship, then it's just gonna be easy for that other person to cut it off. So yeah, I'm not doing that again. Like, as much as I want a friend, like I'm not willing to just put up with anything. So yeah, y'all, those are 5 red flags that I chose to ignore in friendships, and I won't ever do it again. If you have anybody, any friends in your life that display these red flags or display any red flags, hopefully if you aren't going through anything in this video with a friend, but you see this video and you start to think about other red flags that you see in your friendships, yeah, I just hope, you just need to reevaluate those friendships and get those people out of your life, have a talk with them, and if it just goes left and not right, then it might just be time to get that friendship up and make room for that true friend that really is supposed to be in your life. So as always, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, this talk, and this Silk Press, what y'all think. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Especially comment if you can relate, or any red flags that you've seen in your current friendships, or friendships from the past and that you just had to let go, or if you talked through it with that friend and y'all worked it out. That's always good. That's always the best thing, if they're willing to just acknowledge what they did and just acknowledge anything that you point out to them. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Choose joy, choose growth, choose you. With love, Carlin. Bye.